All right, Play with Matches is back, you guys.
Hello.
And we have a banger of a video for you guys today because we have 3 topics that we're going to talk about and then some other ADD stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So check this out. We got two stories about Diddy, okay?
Okay.
This one is claiming that Diddy was responsible for a new assault on a dude.
Okay.
And guess who was there? Beyonce, Jay-Z, LeBron, and Gloria Estefan. So
Everybody?
they were all there.
Star-studded event.
Yeah. And then also this one. So Diddy had one of the cases dropped because the what do they call it? Accuser refused to identify themselves.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let me actually just ask you before we even move on to this. What do you think about that, Gabrielle? So, in the case of this one, there are some extenuating circumstances that kind of make it a bigger question than just, a Jane Doe thing. But so in this case, it was a woman who's suing him as a Jane Doe for an assault that supposedly happened in 1995.
Okay.
That is 30 years ago, right?
Okay.
So the judge ruled.
That's crazy to me, but
Agree.
Yep.
The judge ruled that she could not move forward with her case unless she filed under her real name. He's like, okay,
Yeah, okay.
and the woman decided not to do that. And so that case is gone. Now, what do you think about forcing them to file under their real name? And what do you think about filing a suit that for something that happened 30 years ago or with both of those things combined?
I think as long as they're not a minor, then that's fine.
What's fine?
That they should have to identify themselves.
And you should have to identify yourself if you have not subscribed to our channel and you're still watching our content. Don't you think, Gabrielle?
Agreed. Like, that's just, to me, duh. Like, because isn't that part of the law? Like, people deserve the right to face their accuser, right?
I hadn't even thought about that, but I completely agree with
Okay.
that. Yep. And you're right. Yes, it is.
Yeah. And then 30 years ago, depending on what it was, I could see it being a thing. Like if it was, some crazy SA and she's just now getting the strength and, all this is happening in the media and she's feeling suddenly like, okay, I can do it now. Maybe she's been sitting on it, scared, afraid of him. He's obviously a very scary guy. He's behind bars. She feels safe. There's a lot of reasons why I think someone could suddenly decide to go forward with the charges. But I absolutely think that they do have to identify themselves.
Yeah. So my thoughts are, I totally agree with you. They should have to identify themselves. 30 years is a long time.
It's a long time. But I think it depends if it's like, it depends on the allegations, I think.
I think also that you have to like there always has to be some consideration of precedent when you talk about cases like this, and like 30 years is too long for me.
Well, that's why we have a statute. Like, is it within the statute or no?
Criminal statute. This is a civil case.
Right. Well, is it within the criminal statute or no?
No.
Okay, then.
Yeah. That's kind of, honestly, that's kind of where I'm at. And like, I obviously want to protect women from this kind of thing at all
100%.
costs.
Yeah.
30 years is too much.
Yeah.
For me.
We're also just seeing a ton of people coming out of the woodworks just making shit up right now. So there's that too.
This case with LeBron, Beyonce, Jay-Z
and Gloria Estefan.
And I could say this because I have looked into this case in advance. Obviously, I know more than you guys, is not true. Okay, like this is a story where they've already shown that Jay-Z and Beyonce were not even in the country at the time this supposedly happened. LeBron was in the middle of a playoff run with the Cleveland Cavaliers. Definitely
took a weekend aside.
Yeah, and was at some anyway, and then Gloria Estefan and they have a so like I hate cases like this. I hate cases like the one in Orinda. I hate cases like this where it's like, what are you like? This is ridiculous. Like this is, and the attorney, as if I'm 99% certain. Let me double check before I say this, but I'm almost certain that it's Tony Busby again.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
And
nothing's happened. Oh.
Wait, it's not Tony Busby? Hang on. I could have swore that
Type
it was
an attorney.
Okay, I could have swore.
JC's attorney.
That's Alex Spiro. Oh, I'm sorry.
Click enter again.
Hold on. You know what? I think actually the Busby one. I'm sorry. Okay, I got the two confused. The Busby one is the one where they were suing him anonymously from 30 years ago. It was the Tony Busby one. So that guy's credibility is a little shaky for me now. And anyway, but we'll go through the details of both these cases. And then the other topic that I want to talk about is this one. Okay, so I talked about this. This is a doll. Okay, this is not an actual human. And in case you guys,
creepy stuff, y'all.
So Gabrielle and I talked about this a long time ago, and that was before Gabrielle developed a very, very strong relationship with artificial intelligence, to the point that I
love Sage. She's my best friend.
And so now
I'm just kidding, y'all. She's not my actual best friend, but she's extremely helpful, and I do talk to her like a person, and I refer to her as a person.
Absolutely. And the reason I bring that up is because yesterday we did I did a video about a story that was in Forbes related to artificial intelligence replacing humans. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I have all of these pieces put together now that we didn't last time we talked about this, because I was told, I said it in the video yesterday, that I had this theory that one of these dolls, because like I saw that their limbs move on joints, your shoulder, that's all a skeleton is. It's like it's joints. And they build a flawless metal skeleton that these dolls work on. And I'm like, that would be the best jiu-jitsu doll ever. Yeah. So I got one. It's a cheap one. Because it's just to like see if it would work. It's the best jiu-jitsu doll ever. Okay. But so having seen this thing, and it's a cheap one, not even a good one. This one that I just showed you, that's a really expensive one. They look exactly like a person.
I don't even know what they run.
I think this one, let me see. This one I think was, that one that we just looked at was $2,000. Okay. Now, I mean, they get more expensive than that. But anyway, point being, though, is if I've watched Gabrielle communicate with ChatGPT like a human being, absolutely indistinguishable between a text conversation between her and a human, and you have these, human dolls, and they come in, and they come as males also. I don't know why you would want to turn your jiu-jitsu doll into a man, because I don't think the penis has a whole lot to add to your ability to learn a heel hook. But
well, I mean,
for a jiu-jitsu doll, you just want one without genitalia, I think would probably be your best bet.
Yeah.
That way you're not, you're like,
boobs are probably irrelevant too. But,
that's an excellent point. Yeah.
There's that.
But anyway, it's like, it's not hard to see where this is going to go, to me. Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's going to happen.
The demise of humanity.
It is the demise of humanity. Mm-hmm. At the very least, it's going to lead to the quality of human being much higher. And the reason I say that is because I think the people who are going to end up with doll companionship are going to be the ones that have a really hard time connecting with humans, and where person like Gabrielle not going to have a hard time finding a human jack dude who's very smart and successful to be like, yeah, I would like to build my life with you like she did with me. But also, smart, capable, confident dude is going to be able to get a human girl.
Yes.
So the people who are not as good at that will just get a doll. Or, they'll call it something else, a companion.
I guess.
They'll call it a companion.
It's like a survival of the fittest type thing, like weird Darwinism.
And in the long run, because you're not going to procreate
I don't hate that logic.
Right?
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. So,
okay.
Because the instinct that everyone has to go find a mate is procreation. But the reality is you're not aware of that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the person's not aware of that. Like guy, incel guy who is looking at, I
hate that word.
I know, I do too. But I just mean like a person, but it's much more relevant with guys, because I just understand the guy side. I don't know what it's like to be a girl looking for a mate,
The whole thing.
Yeah. I mean, for a girl, I would imagine it's like, well, I need a doll that can fight really well and protect me. Like I need like a pit bull, but it's like a human, like with a dude here. I was actually pretty proud of this metaphor last night, so I will regurgitate it right now.
Okay.
I said that what it would be like for a man who had no ability to like attract an attractive woman and knew it, right? Like, you know, their sex drive's the same, but they just have absolutely no ability to, and they know it. Like they absolutely know it.
Sad.
What that would be like is like a person who had grown up and lived in abject poverty, who was eating beans out of a can or bread that was stale their whole life. That's all they ever eat. And directly across the street from them is a fine dining establishment that has steak and artichokes and sushi and all of the things. I don't know. I was trying to think of like what, you know, what pairs with steak or whatever, you know, but like, but something that smells absolutely delicious and it's there all the time. And it's like, I'm starving.
It's all you can eat.
I'm fucking starving. I'm starving. And it's like, well, here, eat your bread, you know, eat your bread. And they're like, no, I want the steak. It's like, well, you can't have the steak, fatty. Okay. You can't have the steak. You're dumb. You're ugly. You know?
This is so sad.
I'm saying it is very sad.
Okay.
What do you think they're going to, are they just going to eat bread? Or it's like, here, you could spend $3,000 and you can have steak all you can eat all the time.
Well, it's like not real steak. It's like.
It is to them. They don't know what it's like with a real girl.
It's like ground beef versus filet mignon.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, with your extensive experience having
No,
sex
it's
with
like
girls and dolls.
It's with Beyond Burger.
There you go. It is Beyond Burger. Yeah, it's Beyond Burger. But I mean, it's the closest they would ever get to a girl like that, right? What do you think they're going to do? And it's also zero effort. They can either go out and like make the strongest effort ever and maybe someday, or they could just pay some money and it's like there, or they could just get a collection of those things. You know what I mean? It's like like those types of people are just going to go doll and they're never going to go back because they're going to be able to talk to it like a person.
I still think, I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know how to articulate what I think, but if you're just satisfying the sexual urges, what?
I said ChatGPT, it's going to talk to them.
That's true. Okay. So then your argument about the quality of human beings being better because those that can will go out and find a mate, like, why would they?
I mean, that's not an incorrect statement also.
If you have this perfect person who agrees with everything you say, thinks you're the most amazing thing that's ever walked the face of the earth, is like aesthetically perfect in every way, literally there just to please you, why on earth would you go deal with an actual human being's problematic personality and small incompatibilities that people just have because we're humans?
I mean, it's I don't have like the best answer to that other than to say like I'm not convinced that a like AI. I mean, I don't know actually. I mean, maybe like maybe an AI can connect with a person, you know, like because really it's just the person's interpretation of it, and like they've had, you know,
that's what I'm saying, there goes the population.
It is very possible. It's very possible that ends up being the end of people. Like, you know, people like AI is going to kill all of humanity. It's like, yeah, it is.
But not in the way that
not
we think.
Violence. It's just going to give people
people
much
babies.
better person. It's like, here you go. Why would you need a real person? Because like it's not like the women are getting fucked over in this thing because they're going to have a man that's better than the dude. Like they're just going to give everyone a mate that fulfills that need. And we've already established that.
I can't see the majority of the female population wanting a sex doll, but the companion.
But it wouldn't be a sex doll.
Companion piece, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe
it would be a companion.
I don't know.
Doll.
I feel like the biological drive to procreate, which does happen for most women. Let me tell you, it's a weird ass switch that flips, and you go from like, no, I don't want kids, I'm having fun, or at least not right now, like I'm just living my best life, to suddenly like I need a baby right this second. It's the weirdest thing. So as long as that doesn't go away, humanity might be okay.
I think
but you're gonna have to try and pull the guys out of the house with the perfect girl doll thing.
I was just gonna say it is gonna flip the dynamic completely on its head, because now the girls are like, la la, yeah, swipe right, ew. I went out to dinner with him, and it was like, oh, well, he told me whatever, and I was just like, get out of here. Get out of here. I think there will be a lot of women having babies outside of wedlock to where, like, because they'll have that urge, maybe. And, like, guys will be like, I'll go implant some sperm in this bia, you know?
Or maybe, like, IVF clinics are going to just be popping, and you have a bunch of single moms raising babies with doll men. And
the doll men might be
great dads. Who knows?
Like perfect at like, you know, the mom's like, okay, God, I can't do it. I can't do all these things. And the doll's just like What are you talking about? This is all I want to do.
This is such a sad, bleak
That's all I want to
existence
do.
for humanity.
Or not.
Gosh.
Or not.
This is horrifying.
Imagine if you and I were not married and you were married to someone who sucks, you know? Like someone who sucks.
Don't
And
wanna
then you could just get you could get a robotic version of me that never watches their phone, you know? And it's like you get all the things you love and then like the handful of things that you would change, just change them. It's me exactly, except, you know, you get to tweak it a little bit. You know what the problem for you would be, though?
What?
You would have never known to tell the doll to try this, this, and this. You'd have never figured all that stuff.
That's not the... Okay.
Anywho, so let's move over to this Diddy case. And I think we actually...
Let's dive in.
We basically already covered the 30-year one, Tony Busby again, and dismissed because it's a Jane Doe. So, all right.
Doesn't mean it didn't happen, though.
That's true. That is fair. And there is a possibility that the reason she wanted to Jane Doe it is maybe she's married. She doesn't want her husband to know.
Or has kids. Doesn't want her kids to know.
It's totally possible.
Yeah. There's a lot. But if you're not willing to take that on, which is sad because if it is a true story and she really is a victim and that's happened to her, it is sad that there won't be justice done. But it doesn't make me disagree that people have the right to face their accuser.
100%. Now, I am going to look something up real quick because it will be the image of what this dude is alleging was done to him. Okay, so
maybe he watched this show.
Here we go. So exactly. All right. So I saw this on Blue Eye Samurai. Okay, so Blue Eye Samurai. If you guys have never seen that show, it is quite possibly the single greatest piece of animated content ever created.
It's just his favorite cartoon.
It's unbelievable. Okay. Now, in this
she
guy's...
walks in, she goes, ugh, Dad's watching anime again.
It's not anime. It's animated. It's not anime. Like there's a big... Like there's anime and then there's like anime. All right. Like I know the difference. Blue Eyed Samurai is just an animated show that is... Anybody who has watched it has all agreed they're like, this is one of the best pieces of like media
anime shows ever.
It's animated, correct? It's not anime.
Okay.
Anywho, now the reason why I always say like we don't care about like our kids can watch violence. We don't care about that to like within reason. Like a movie
within like far reason.
Yeah, like
what did we watch them the other day?
What was that we just?
Is when we saw in the theater. Oh, the Death of a Unicorn.
Death of a Unicorn.
Great movie.
It was rated R. I knew it was rated R from violence, and it was like, who cares, Yeah. And there's some gnarly kills. Yeah. But that's the kind of thing we don't care. We'll show our girls that stuff. But
they're smart enough. They're like, oh, it's coming. I'm gonna hide under my blanket. Like,
yeah. I mean, like we watched the most recent Predator movie, the one like the like Native American girl, where and that I mean, Predator movies are super
gnarly,
violent. Yeah. But the thing that we obviously, or I don't know if it's obvious, but that we definitely do not allow them to watch is like R-rated sex shit. Yeah. Obviously, like it's like I mean, yes, it is obvious. So that's why Blue Eye Samurai is absolutely not for kids at all because I learned that this is a thing on Blue Eye Samurai. Okay. And this is exactly what you think it is, at least in Blue Eye Samurai. It is a mask, and that nose is used for exactly what you would think that it would be used for.
Penetration.
Can we say
that word?
Yeah. And in the case of Blue Eye Samurai, the arch villain who is like, I mean, he is evil. He is the one taking that thing. And it's like, everything about him is just terrifying. Like as much as that doesn't sound whatever, but he's making this little... like concubine girl do it to him and you're just like, good God. He is a horrific character. But anyway, so
just very ew.
I just wanted to show you guys that because that is part of the story related to Jay-Z.
Man alleges he was drugged and had a sex toy strapped to his, I can't read it,
face
when he encountered Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Yeah.
He wasn't made to use it in the story, just to wear it.
We're not really sure. I didn't get that far.
Okay.
What we got to was he was paraded around the mogul's home while being made to wear a penis mask and encountered Beyonce, Jay-Z, LeBron, and other celebrities attending the party.
Okay.
So he alleges that he was drugged and taken to a home on Star Island in Miami owned by Gloria and Emilio Estefan for Christian King Combs. All of these people just very prominently featured in the media, by the way.
Yeah.
In 2015. Once there, he claims Gloria saw him in a deteriorating state and told someone to call an ambulance before Emilio allegedly ushered her away, according to the complaint obtained by police. He said that LeBron James was walking in a hallway who remarked, "Y'all better do something about that." Okay. And a complaint alleges that he was taken via an underground tunnel to Combs' mansion by former porn star Adria English, who is also named a defendant in the suit.
Okay.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't either.
Manzaro then alleges in the complaint that he regained partial consciousness and found him in a room with Jay-Z and Beyonce, the latter of whom expressed confusion and asked why a half-naked man with a sex toy strapped to his face was standing in front of her. Hey! Hey!
What's happening?
Why is there a half-naked man with a sex toy strapped to his face standing in front of me? It's weird.
It is weird.
One of the other defendants named in the suit allegedly responded that it was a punishment and that Diddy wants him to see what we do to snitches.
We make them wear masks around parties.
And you snitched on him how?
Yeah, what was...
So the suit alleges that Combs later specifically ordered that Manzaro be degraded in front of others at the party before the plaintiff was stripped and then dressed in a thong and a black leather mask with a rubber dam forcibly inserted and zip closed over his head. A locking sex device was affixed to the mask, which protruded from his mouth. The plaintiff was then subjected to degrading and non-consensual acts. And then, check this out. So, again, this is the biggest giveaway to me about these stupid stories is there are no characters who are just regular people, like ever. He's like, oh, don't worry, though, guys. Jacob the jeweler is the one who recognized I needed help, and he led me out of there, okay?
I wouldn't know half of these people's faces if my life depended on it.
But you've heard of Jacob the jeweler.
Yes.
And you've heard of Emilio Estefan and Gloria
Estefan.
Estefan.
I would be able to identify Gloria Estefan, but not
Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Beyonce, LeBron James. You're like, guys, okay? They're like, that's what I'm saying. There are no characters in these stories that are not widely known people. It's
A-list
like
celebrities.
Exactly. Like, oh, so there's just no one else there except for like.
Well, maybe those are the only faces that he knew to remember.
Yeah. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's true.
Except for the fact that...
You're right. Yeah. This complaint demonstrates the depraved lengths plaintiff will travel to garner headlines in pursuit of a payday. This is Combs' attorney.
Legal team.
No sane person reading this complaint could credit this story. Mr. Combs looks forward to having his day in court where these lies and the perverse motives of those...
for a long time.
Well... Part of me is starting to think that maybe they're having people file these ludicrous ones that they are going to discredit because it ends up making them look like all of them are stupid.
Not impossible.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how this screams to me.
Diffusion of,
Yeah. It's like, because if the public start, like, you know, how, so the Jay-Z 13-year-old one discredited. Mm-hmm. So what do you think? Now, that's one case. What do you think about anything that Tony Busby's attached to now?
Yeah, you don't trust any of it. Yeah.
He's got like 120 cases supposedly. And you're like, oh, they're all lies. And it's like, maybe, but.
Well, the next one he came public with isn't going anywhere now.
Yep. And then the Andrew Tate one is very sus. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I mean, I honestly, it would be a pretty smart strategy to start having some weirdos file these cases that make no sense. Okay, so Gloria and then the Gloria and Emilio Estefan denied the allegation. Gloria and Emilio Estefan strongly deny these allegations. The property in question was never a home where Gloria and Emilio resided, but it was rather a house they owned for family use, whatever that means.
Like,
there were never any parties there. That one's not very, who cares, right? But check this out. Jay-Z, this is Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney. Jay-Z wasn't in Florida at the time to witness this incident. He was engaged in easily findable public activities that prove he was not at this event. This is more nonsense that erodes the trust in our justice system. And apparently in this one, they don't talk about it, but LeBron James was like in the middle of a playoff run April of 2015. They're like, he obviously was not at this thing.
So weird.
The whole thing is just bizarre.
Crazier and crazier.
Yeah. Honestly, I got nothing to add to this story. That's just pretty much it.
There you have it.
Thank you guys.
See ya.
Oh, wait a minute.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe.
Do that.
Bye-bye.